Hello, everyone, and welcome to Touton Live, our bi-weekly conversation with the wine industry's most interesting and influential people. This week is a big one. Long-awaited conversation with Susana Balbo.
Yes, very well. Yourself?
Yeah, we can hear you great. Perfect. Tell us just a bit about what's happening right now in Argentina in aspect to the vineyards, because I know it's harvest time right now.
Yes, we in our winery we just finished the harvest 4 days ago.
Oh, wow.
Last week on Friday. Um, the year was pretty cold, so we expect very fine grain tannins, beautiful tannins. Ripening happens very slowly because the little wet weather and also for the long season we had. But we are very happy with the quality, very happy.
Yeah, it sounds amazing. And I keep hearing everybody speaking about shorter growing seasons and extreme heat. So it's nice to hear that somewhere is actually the
Yeah.
opposite.
Yeah, well, this year was something weird because we didn't expect it in the beginning to have a El Niño phenomenon. However, in February, where it's supposed to have the rain leaving, because usually our climate, we have just a few millimeters of rainfall a year. However, happens in 1 month, January and beginning of February or December, January. And this year we expected that finish in the beginning of February and the temperature cooled down and started having slow rains once a while, becoming pretty cold year. And that led us to leave the clusters longer time in the vines, and the quality is pretty good, very good. We are very happy, especially in the whites, and also reds are beautiful reds this year.
Oh, amazing.
So yeah,
That
another
sounds,
good harvest is in the cellar, fortunately.
it's perfect. Amazing. Well, congratulations on
Yeah,
another great vintage and completing harvest. I know that's always a stressful time of year, so it's good to get it done.
yeah. Yeah, it's a business with sky is open, so you
Yeah.
never know what is going to happen at the
Oh,
end.
exactly. All right, so I think let's do a brief introduction and then I'll turn it over to you to give us a bit of your history. But thank you everyone for tuning in today. This is another episode of Touton Live. This is our bi-weekly conversation with the wine industry's most innovative figures. So today it's our much anticipated conversation with Susana Balbo of course, Susana Balbo Wines in Mendoza, Argentina. So Susana is one of the most influential people in the country as well as just in the wine industry in general. Before I turn it over to her to give us a bit of her history, I want to show everyone on the map. I always like my maps. So just a brief zoom in here of South America. So you have Buenos Aires to the far east, and then if you head due west, you run into Mendoza. So just before you hit the Andes Mountains and traverse the Andes Mountains over to Santiago, Chile. So we're right in the foothills of the mountains in Mendoza, and we're just so happy to be joined by Susana today. So Susana, I want to turn it over to you. You've been in the wine business for 40 plus years. Give us a bit of your history, and just for those who aren't as familiar with you as I am, and as big of fans as I am, give us a bit of your history if you don't mind.
Okay, this year I'm going to have 40 years from my graduation at university,
Oh, wow.
and wine industry changed a lot in so many years. So I witnessed of so many change. In the beginning, Argentina, and it wasn't a country that were producing wines at very high end. In fact, our domestic consumption was taking over all the production. And I think always I say I'm a blessed person because I've been the first female winemaker in Argentina. And as well, I was able to be one of the person that was protagonizing the change of the wine industry and the wine industry in general in the world, because the new knowledge came over to all the winemakers. We knew more about the flavor profiles, composition of flavor, tannin composition, and everything. So I think that the last 40 years changed the wine industry all over the world, and mainly in Argentina. And in the beginning of my career, I was working in Salta. The only way I had the chance to have a job because I was a woman. However, it was a very good experience because I had so many limited resources to work with that was a sort of incentivation of my creativeness. Oh, this is our vineyard in Gualtallari. This is beautiful. It was a sort of excitement of my creativeness, and I realized I have skills that I never figured out I had. Even in something that never in my life I figured out to do, like repair a machine in the winery or to repair my own car. And that is very important because you realize when life gives you different challenge, you are ready to face those challenges. And after 10 years in Cafayate, I came back to Mendoza for difficult situation for us as a family, for my job and everything. I was 1 year without getting my salary. Argentina was in hyperinflation. So for me, it was very struggling and sad moments. And with my husband, we decided to move back to Mendoza with our 2 kids, Jose and Ana. And we started our small project focused in Argentina. We failed in that project because we were victim of a scam and we were very close to lose everything. Our market target was Argentina. So after a very bad moment, I sold this company. And a few years later, my husband passed away and I get married again. And then in 99, I decided to start another project thinking just in export, because as the first project failed, based in Argentina domestic market, I thought, okay, I can be successful thinking in the world. That is wider market, is less risky, you know, in my mind was less risky than Argentina. Is the opposite that people use to think about, because people is afraid to go to international market. But for me, international market was more reliable than Argentina market, and I was right, because I was able to build a successful company with the trust of the people all over the world. I'm not saying it doesn't involve a lot of work and a lot of compromise, because I was walking the street in United States for many years and many times a year, at least 8 to 9 times a year, traveling to United States for 20 days, 15 days. My 2 kids complaining about that in some moment because they said I was absent. However, was the idea to settle Argentina as a category, because we were one of the few wineries exporting high-end wines. In 99, we started exporting high-end wines to Argentina with a few other wineries, and was a very good momentum for Argentina. And realizing that the market was pretty small for Argentina wines, because we didn't have our own category. I've been involved in Wines of Argentina, and I became a Wines of Argentina president, and I settled a project for all Argentina wine industry, promoting Argentina and tango together, because tango is in people's mind, but Argentina wine wasn't in people's mind. So linking both things was pretty successful project. And also we used Malbec as the flagship variety, because it's unique from Argentina. it comes from France, but here develops a wonderful character and find out their own house. I said Malbec find out his own house here, because after that Malbec in Europe was killed for the phylloxera disease, and here survives and is still very alive and delivering wonderful wines. And in that way, Argentina started exporting. The growth of export was at least 30% per year, and my company was evolving at the same path. So it was something very plenty of energy, fantastic moments. Well, I built this winery in 2001, because in 2001, after 2 years, I was exporting 15,000 cases already into your market. It's something it's very difficult to repeat today, nowadays. And I was able to build my own winery with the limited amount of money I had, because when I sold the first winery, I put the money in your country in a trust, thinking in the education of my kids. However, the 9/11 happens, and my saving drops less than half, and I thought, okay, I should invest this money in my own project, because it's the way to look after properly the money, because I just have 2 years or 3 years my project running, and really I realized I was capable to grow a very healthy business, and I did. And well, making a very long story in a short story, because 20 years old is my winery, 22 years old is going to be this year. We are actually producing 250,000 hectares, 250,000 cases, exporting to 42, 45 countries. And we export 96% of our production. My 2 kids joined me in the winery. We have a wonderful team, and really is a successful family-owned company. So we are very happy, and we are facing, we think, a brilliant future if the war allowed us, because the weird time we are having, we never know.
No, for sure. It's such an amazing history, and just yours is just a great story of perseverance and just fortitude, and just knowing, following your your vision and the focus, and just continuing to strive towards what you know is right. And that was really quality wine, and that's really, I think, what makes it so interesting is that you were really the first one in that region to focus, one of the first to focus on quality.
Yes, thank you, David, for mentioning that, because I thought, and this I learned from Nicolas Catena. Nicolas Catena, when I was working for him for 3 years, building Catena Zapata Winery, he always told me quality is the cheapest marketing. And it's true, because it's a slow way, because it's mouth of word advertising, because I didn't have capital or money to invest in advertising. However, the quality talk itself, the quality into the wine, let people talk to their friends and everything. And look, this is nice wine, it's a very good value for money. And in that way, we really were able to be successful. And until today, quality for us is something we don't resign in any condition. If the year we didn't achieve the quality that deserves to be in the bottle, we don't bottle the wine. We decide to sell the wine in bulk, but we don't bottle a wine that don't please our expectation in quality, because we know our customers expect from us good quality every year, or better quality from the previous year. So for us, it's a duty we need to fulfill every year. This is a picture of our vineyard in Gualtallari, picking Chardonnay.
So it's amazing, and you said, just the consistency and the quality. I've been selling your wines for over 20 years, and your Torrontés was the first Torrontés I ever had in my life, and one of the first
Mhm.
Malbecs. So but you're right. The consistency of the quality is always there. Before we start talking about some of your specific brands, because I want to review each one, today is Earth Day, so happy Earth Day, everyone. And I know, Susana, this is a big focus of yours, and it has been sustainability, organic viticulture, social responsibility. Tell us just a bit
Yeah.
about that and where you stand today with those projects.
Well, this is the pillars of our philosophy. I built the philosophy because I was lucky enough to cross all the stage in a company, being a simple employee with a regular or low salary in the beginning, and then a better salary. Meanwhile, the time comes over, and until I have my own winery. So I realize sustainability under social responsibility development, organic, should be the philosophy pillars for a healthy company, because the company belongs to the society. The company belongs to the place where you work with. And it's very important to look after your employees, to look after the environment, to look after everything in order to evolve all together at the same pace. It doesn't exist a successful company if their employees are not able to improve their quality life, or they cannot have a better quality life, or your environment is polluted, or you are not taking care of the water that is very limited resource for us. So this is very important, and for us is the most strong engagement. And also we work with quality rules, international, with international auditory, because it's very important our consumers knows our engagement is serious engagement, because sometimes some people talk about that, but they didn't apply in their
Right.
companies. So we submit our company and all our procedures to international surveillance in order to be able to let people with the auditory we have every year, twice a year, for all our procedures in organic, in inequity in the wines, and social responsibility development, and everything. That is very important for us.
That's very important.
And
And
for me in particular, and for me in particular.
no, it's great. And it's, people, it's more and more of a focus. And I think people just don't realize, like you said, some people talk about it, but then they don't go and they're not serious about it. They don't get the certifications that you've gone through to get, which is, it's difficult and it takes years, sometimes,
Mm.
many years to get these certifications. So,
Yeah, and it's very important to instill those principles to your people,
right.
because you need all the people engaged with them. So they are working in the winery, and if they see something, they need to pick with their hands and to put in the garbage can, or if they see a paper, they know we should recycle, or all the plastic is recycled, or the water should be look after properly because it's limited resource and everything. And everybody is really engaged with this philosophy. And it's very nice because it's easy to work with all the team with the same goal.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone has the same vision and, gets behind it and they get
Yes.
excited about it too. So, well, we have to move on and start speaking. I want to cover your four brands here.
Yeah.
So where it started for me and where it started for a lot of people was with Creos. So I love these wines, but give us just a brief history of the Creos line.
Yes. Okay. Creos is a wine I did in honor of my kids when their father passed away. And the first label was three hands, one bigger hand with two small hands inside, like my hands protecting my kids. But later on, when they joined the company, and the style of the wine was thought in the way that reflects what the kids means for me. It means energy, vibrance, and it means love. It means all what is young with a lot of energy. So the wines has this style. And when they joined the company, Anna, as a marketing manager, she said, "Mom, we are not kids anymore. So we need to jump these hands with the two small hands. So I'm going to redesign the label." And she did one in the style that was pretty fashionable a few years ago. That was more old-fashioned style that was pretty successful in the market as well. And now she changed this label, I think, 2 years ago, with more stylish, because also we switched all the grapes for Creos to Uco Valley. And we wanted to reflect in the label that the grapes that comes into the Creos are from the super premium areas in Argentina, one of the best regions in Argentina, which is Uco Valley. So we decided the label should reflect that. And this is the new label we are using since 2 or 3 years ago.
It's beautiful. I've always loved the wines, and like I mentioned before, that Torrontés is spectacular. It's a great introduction to Torrontés for those who don't or haven't experienced Torrontés. But I also want to mention the rosé, because you're one of the first people, I believe, to make Malbec rosé, and this was many years ago before rosé was even trendy.
Yes. Yes, well, we started making rosé, Creos rosé, when we did the first harvest in our own winery. That was in 2002, because was coming from bleeding from the signature grapes. 5% bleeding I was doing in the signature grapes. Remember, almost 20 years ago, the wines should be very bold, concentrated, and sometimes you needed to do some bleeding from the juice in order to have this concentration. Today, we don't need to do this bleeding, because the new areas we developed high in the mountains, in Gualtallari area, in all the regions in the high foothills of the mountains, the yield is very low, and the quality and the concentration is in there naturally. We don't need to do some bleeding. And the rosé changed from pretty dark color, full body rosé, to the new style we have actually, what we do with as a purpose, with grapes grown for rosé. So we pick on time for rosé, we do just very short skin contact in the press, and the wine is almost white when we achieve the juice, and then we ferment as a white wine. So it's one step up in quality as well, and also in the style, because the style is more alive, it's more fruity, less bold and heavy, because we were fermenting in the rosé with very special yeast at very low temperature, and the wine was plenty of glycerin and was beautiful full body rosé. This is more supple, is more in the international of French rosé, and as well is coming, well, it's 100% Malbec, and it's coming from our estate vineyard and Tupungato vineyard as well. As I told you, press with lower alcohol potential and just a few minutes of skin contact in the press.
It's amazing the quality of these wines, and the fact that they're all from the Uco Valley now and estates. It's amazing that you're able to make these wines for these prices. So they're always, I think, just an amazing go-to for by the glass in restaurants, and just incredible wines. I want to move on to Ben Marco, because this is a really interesting project to me. So tell us just a bit about Ben Marco for people who aren't familiar with it, and what the focus is here.
Okay, Marco was the first viticulturist involved in the project, and Ben Marco means a son of Marco, and is the terroir-driven wine. This wine always reflects the terroir. The winemaking process is minimum intervention. We also use most of, except the expressivo, we use a second use oak, looking for less influence of the oak in the wine. Today, the leading person for Benmarco is Edgardo del Popolo, one of the best, for not saying the best, viticulturist in Argentina. And Eddie likes the wines with it's more approachable wine that used to be in the beginning. It's more the reflection of the terroir, showing what a Gualtallari area is capable to deliver into a bottle. Is very clean, pure wine, very straight, with beautiful acidity. This is the vineyard. You see, look at the clean skies. It's no pollution at all. It's at 1,300 meters above sea level. The water is melted snow water for irrigation. This is in winter time, so plenty of snow. My grandkids were playing a lot in this snow because we have a small house there to stay at the weekends. And it's beautiful place, beautiful and very clean. And the grapes are absolutely outstanding, outstanding. The soil is very calcareous, and the wines delivered are with beautiful minerality and character.
Yeah. It's so like you said, these are really just terroir-driven wines, and I like the tannic structure with them too. You have that nice fine grained tannin, and just amazing with steak for me. A medium rare steak, it's perfect.
Yes, and the Marco Espressivo is beautiful blend because it's Malbec and Cabernet Franc, both from the Gualtallari vineyard, and it's fantastic wine for the price. I truly believe it's very cheap for the price, for the quality that is in this bottle. To match this quality in another origin of wine, you must pay 2 or 3 times this price for sure.
I agree with you. Don't raise the price at least right now. Maybe next year.
But quality for us is our marketing proposition. So
No, it's these wines are really special, and like you said, they're very unique and terroir driven. You know, nice minerality, just really nice balance in them. So that leads us to, of course, your signature.
my signatures,
Yeah, which
yes.
I love.
Well, in my signature is a combination of the terroir knowledge given for Eddie and winemaking knowledge, because I try to put a little more complexity through good winemaking process, very clean, not too much intervention. It's more than it's a little more sophisticated, using different toastiness in the barrels, with barrel toasted with convection rather than with fire. And we ferment in eggs, in concrete eggs, that makes naturally a convection, and the skins are always in touch with the juice, and the wines achieve wonderful concentration in this fermentation. We use 500 liters barrels for fermentation, toneles, I don't remember, but wooden vat, 3,000 liters. And this is a special place where we made the signatures and also nosotros, our highest end wine. And for me to please in this label should be elegance, balance, very well done wines with complexity, showing different layers of flavors all the time you are tasting the wine.
So the interesting thing about these wines is they're really approachable. You have that structure and that complexity, but they are very approachable, and I think it's great in a restaurant. You know, with the lamb or duck. I just love these wines.
Yeah, well, I'm wine drinker, and I like a wine that I can drink all during my meal, and not to having the wine that is bothering in my mouth because it's too strong. That is why the elegance in the tannins composition, but are tannins that can last for many years because they are very well done into the wine, with very well polymerization with the tannins of the oak. coming from the convection toastiness, and all those tannins are already polymerized. So if you keep the wine for 10 or 15 years, I have wine with with 20 years from my winery, and if you pour the bottle, there is no lees into the wine, and that shows the process of winemaking was very well done, because I achieved the polymerization between the tannins from the oak and the polyphenols from the wine, plus the tannins from the wine, all married, very tight married, and it lasts for many years. And the wine aged fantastic. The line has from left to right, is the late harvest Torrontés, late harvest Malbec, is a Malbec, Cabernet Sauvignon, and the Bordeaux blend, which is Cabernet Sauvignon, Cabernet Franc, Petit Verdot, and Malbec. All the line is beautiful. Also, we have a rosé that is the rosé and the white blend. They are the rosé is Malbec with Pinot Noir. It's very complex rosé, and was selected as the best rosé for the Escorchado guide, and also has a very high write-up. Well, all the wines, did you see we have a very good write-ups from different journalists. All of them has above 90 points for our wines until 99. And the wines and the signature white blend is leading the revolution of the white wines in Argentina, actually. We are considered the most innovative winery with whites and rosé in Argentina.
It's really cool. And like you said, the line is just very diverse, but like you said, it has that integration and that structure. Those wines are really spectacular. So we of course, as always happens, running short on time, but we can't, of course,
yeah, this is the top of the line.
forget
This
Nostros.
is the team works all together pursuing the goal, the best wine in the winery. We work in 5 vineyards in the same way. We keep all the lots isolated, the 5 lots, and then by blind tasting, we decide which wine is going to be into nosotros bottle. Should be the best wine in the winery. That is why it's called Nomad, because 1 year can be from Gualtallarí, or can be from Chacalles, or Vistaflores, or Altamira, or Agrelo. The 5 vineyards, we work exactly the same in order to achieve the best Malbec in the year. And this is a fantastic wine, very pleasant, approachable. It's made in this small winery into the winery. We call the chapel, and it's the best place, and it's amazing. It's all fermented in wood, new wood, and it's aged for 13, 14 months in wood, and then we cellar in bottle for 2 years at least before we release. So it's a beautiful wine, very beautiful.
Yeah, it's amazing. And is it always 100% Malbec?
Always is 100% Malbec. Only the first harvest has a 5% Petit Verdot. If I remember properly, none other harvest, maybe my daughter, she can correct me if there is one I put a little bit, but usually I look for 100% Malbec, because I want the true character of the Malbec.
And so it's a barrel selection, so it depends, like you said, it depends on the site.
It's a vineyard selection, okay, aged in barrels, and in different kind of barrels, because we use 500 liters, 250, 225, 160, and then we blend in between the lots, but this is a small quantity for each one.
And I know there's a very small amount that makes it to the United States every year. We're very excited. We haven't received it yet, but the 2016, I know, received 99 points from James Suckling. So that's to be, it's going to fly off the
shelves. It's from
Chacalles. Yeah, exactly. It's so I know the 2016s are on the way, hopefully at some point, and we're looking forward to those.
There is a message for Chris, who is listening now. Los super de Wilde se quedaron sin críos. They are asking for more wine.
So there you go. We could take an order right now. You could send over
Yes.
the quantity,
Yeah, we are selling.
and we'll
We are
take the order
selling.
now. No, it's been really cool speaking with you, Susanna, and
Yeah, David, thank you.
I've just been such a fan of your wines, and it's been a great opportunity to hear some of the details because, we work in the industry and we work with your wines every day, but there's just the little things that, we learn so much when we speak to you directly, and it's just nice to see you virtually. I think
Thank you, David.
are you going to be heading to the United States anytime soon?
Yes, I'm planning to go to United States in 1 or 1.5 months.
Nice.
I'm waiting to have my immune system growing after my second shot of the vaccine,
Nice.
and I'm going to be traveling to the US. I took my second shot last week, so I
Oh,
need to wait 1 month.
wow,
So
congratulations.
yes,
That's,
I'm planning to go. Yes, no
no,
doubt. I'm missing you guys. I'm
I
missing to
know.
visit the market, to be in the road, tasting the wines. So yes, I am really missing to visit you.
No, it's great. We finally have some good news and some hope ahead of us. I just had my first shot, so we're all on the right road, I feel like, and moving in the right
Yeah.
direction. So.
No, I'm owing a visit to Monsieur Touton because when I was going there, I have an accident. I broke my knees and I was inside my house, and then was the pandemic. So I'm owing this visit. So I should fulfill my promise to be there.
No, it's great. Hopefully we'll look forward to seeing you in New York.
Yes, for sure.
And for all those who are looking to travel, Mendoza is an amazing destination. I've been there several times myself, and Susanna, in addition to making amazing wine, has an amazing restaurant that her and her
And next,
daughter.
by the end of the year, we are going to have an amazing hotel.
Oh,
Very
a
luxury
hotel.
one. Yes,
Wow.
it's 7 suites here in Chacras de Coria. So yeah, we are doing something that we reflect in the wines. We want to reflect in the quality of the hotel. So it's very unique.
Okay, very cool. So, not that you have anything else going on, but so you're winemaking, restaurants, and now hotel. So I know you like to stay busy, so.
Yes.
But so great. So for those looking for your next vacation, I recommend Mendoza. And end of the year, you could stay at Susanna's hotel. So that's really exciting.
Thank you very much, David. Thank you very much.
Okay, so I think we'll have to wrap it up there. Thank you everyone for joining us today. I want to quickly mention that our next conversation will be in 2 weeks. So Thursday, May 6th, and that will be with Frederick Fay. He's the director of Chateau Figeac, which is in the Saint-Emilion region of Bordeaux. So we're heading to Bordeaux, really historic estate, Chateau Figeac.
It's a good one.
Yeah, it's a good one too. So we'll be heading to France next, but Susanna, I want to just thank you again for your time. It was a great conversation.
Thank you.
And hopefully we'll see you in New York soon.
Yes, me too. Hope to see you soon.
Okay, all the best
to
you
much
and your
everybody.
family and everyone. Thank you so much. Ciao.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, everyone. We'll see you in 2 weeks.